Hello, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Friday, June the 2nd, I believe. I'm so confused. I have no idea what day it is. It could be August by now. Who knows? Today, I'd like to just talk about. I've been talking a lot about sort of being aware of how you're doing in the midst of chaos and things like that. And something somebody said on yesterday's thing, a comment was about um, knowing the things that make the what are sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today. What are those things that reflect for you that you need to take time to relax, to reflect, things like that? And somebody mentioned that when they fly off the handle, when they lose their temper for no reason, that's their sort of their reflection, their moment of, oh yeah, maybe I need to think about this and see what's going on. I can really relate to that. I have got a bit of a wicked temper. I try very hard the older I get to hold it in, but every once in a while. Um, but as I've learned to tone down my temper, I've noticed it's almost like the release valve is different. Where the temper used to be the release valve, now the release valve gets to be anxiety. Anybody else out there understand what I'm saying? I get worried about things, like really, really worried about things. And the more I worry, the more I can't think straight. And the more I can't think straight, the worse I feel. And my blood pressure goes up and I get, I get I get frustrated and I can't think, it just it's like a never-ending circle. It's just really annoying. And one of the things that really gets me frustrated, and it coincidentally happens a lot when things are in chaos, of course, when things are or when there's a lot of stress in my life, like Holy Week and Easter, Christmas, times when there's lots happening. Could be really good things, but chaos and stress and extra work and things like that, nonetheless. And I'll lose things. I'll lose my keys. I lose my reading glasses, like I did the other night. They were in the car. Um, and for those of you who don't know, I don't just wear readers. I have like ultra prisms and like Coke bottle bottom like glasses. Like I am blind as a bat without my glasses, so that's why you almost never see me without them. But it seems to me that the more is happening in my life, the more apt I am to lose things in my life. And it's never, I lost my favorite pen, or because I use a pen. I'm a little bit, obsessive about this. I'll use a pen until it dies. I use a pencil until it's sharpened right down to its knob. I just do. I like to use a pad of paper until it's done. I'm a bit, got to finish things off kind of person. But I lose important things. Like I will lose my keys. I will lose my wallet. I'll lose my phone. I've lost my watch before and it was still on my wrist. I don't understand how I do that, but I do. Um, for today, you see, I belong to a book club through the Military Family Resource Center in Wainwright, and we have great fun. There's a few of us, and we have these great conversations. And because of moving and other things, I haven't been able to go the last couple of meetings, which means I wasn't able to turn in my books. And Jessica, the beautiful, wonderful, kind, patient, compassionate, ever-loving book club leader that she is, gently reminded me a couple of days ago after I'd packed up all my books and getting them ready to move to the new house, that I needed to return the books because she had to take them back to the library. Okay, Jessica, no problem. I can do that. I know exactly where those books are because you know what? I am uber organized. I am super organized. I know exactly they were on the chest, the hope chest that Rob built me that sits beside my chair in my old living room, and I packed them in a bag, and I knew exactly where they were, and I brought them into the new house and put them down so where I'd know exactly where they were because I knew I had to take them back, and guess what? Nope, no clue where they were. I normally the military packs us. So they come in, they pack all of our stuff in boxes and then label the boxes and which room they were in so that when we get to the new house, they can just put them in the right places. Well, we weren't that organized, and I'm too cheap to buy boxes. And besides, I can't lift the boxes if they're full of books. So I used shopping bags, like plastic grocery bags. We are now in Canada phasing out of grocery bags because they're not good for the environment. But I save mine because I use them to line my garbage cans. So I have hundreds of these bags and I have thousands of books. So I would pile 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 books in a bag, and they shipped off into our truck, and then brought over here. And a friend of Rob's would help bring them in the house. And some books went upstairs, and some bags went downstairs, and I knew they were in a bag. So Jessica reminded me, and so I have been searching high and low, going through everything, climbing over furniture, tripping over my elliptical, which is still in pieces, tripping over, Rob's free weights, lifting, like looking through Lego. I have been through this house up and down and sideways. No, and the only place I knew the books were not was in the old house, because I've gone through it and cleaned it, and there's nothing left there. So the books had to be in this house. I finally did find them after I had looked through every bag of books, and both the closets in my office and in the pantry, which is Dude's bedroom, and they weren't there. And finally, I thought the only place I haven't looked for without bags was in our bedroom closet. Why would I ever put them in there? They weren't even in a bag, they were in a backpack, because in my infinite wisdom, I packed them in a special bag because then I would remember where they were. Go figure. Well, the thing is, I have to tell you a quick story. When I was in Sarnia at St. Bartholomew's, I had this incredible secretary named Leslie. And I used to lose things then too. Same thing. Get stressed, lose things. And she would come in and she could hear me banging around my office, and she knew I'd lost something. So she came in one day and said to me, "What have you lost?" I said, "I've lost my keys." She said, "Okay. Have you ever prayed to St. Anthony?" She's Roman Catholic. And I said, "No, I don't pray to saints." And she's like, "Okay, well, forget the theology of it, but just talk to St. Anthony and he'll help you find your keys." St. Anthony, I guess, is the patron saint of lost things. And I wonder if we could find my mind. So anyway, so I said, "Okay, fine." And of course I didn't, because I thought this was all hooey. So she went back to her office and she prayed, and she came in and she's like, "Okay, I just had a conversation with St. Anthony, and you need to pick up the book on your desk." Like, why would I pick up the book on my desk? She said, "Just pick it up. Pick up the book on your desk." So I go to pick up the book on my desk, and guess what? My keys were under the book. How would she know that? Divine intervention. It had to be. Well, she taught me a lesson that day, that I'm not praying to St. Anthony, but the saints pray for us. We have a litany in the Anglican Church, and the litany goes like, "St. Francis, pray for us. St. Anthony, pray for us." Well, the St. Anthony must have been praying for me, and he helped me find, actually, he helped Leslie find my keys. So I try to remember that when I've lost something, this reminder to pray and ask St. Anthony to help me find them. It's not so much about asking St. Anthony to actually help me find my keys or my book or whatever I'm looking for. It's more about remembering to take that time to pray, because I am a believer, and I do believe that God does know all things. And as silly as this might seem, and some of my parishioners kind of take, they're uncomfortable with this idea, but I do believe that God is a loving Father, or a loving being, who doesn't want us to stress unnecessarily. Sometimes stress is good for us. Other times it's just a waste of time. And if God knows where my keys are, because I believe that God knows all these things, why would God not help me to clear my mind, that I would also then be able to find them, to find what it is I'm looking for? And so when I get in stress like this and I've lost something, I try to remember Leslie, and I try to remember to just say a quick prayer and say, a quick request to St. Anthony, "Please pray for me and help me find whatever it is." And you know what? 99% of the time it works. The 1% of the time it doesn't is when I pray and then grab it back. When I say, "Okay, I need help here," and then I refuse to listen for that help. And that happened to me last night when I was looking for these books. I spent probably an hour and a half until 10:30 at night trying to find these books that I want to take back to the MFRC. And I kept thinking, "Okay, St. Anthony, help me out." And then I kept plowing through. I never stopped to take a deep breath. I never stopped to say thank you, because I will find them. And with God's help, I will find them. And it seems ridiculous, but if God is in it for the big things, why would God not be in it for the little things? The way I look at it is, if I had a child and my child came to me and said, "Mummy, can you help me tie my shoe?" Um, why would I say no to that child for something so simple? Why would I wait and say yes when she said, "Help me to learn to drive a car"? No, absolutely not. I would want to help. And in helping her tie her shoe, I'd be teaching her how to do that. And I believe, my personal belief, is that God does that with us. That God works with us through the really tiny things as well as the big, massive things, so that we can learn and grow, and then we might be able to help others as well. So I didn't learn it, I relearned a big lesson last night that when I pray, when I give myself to God, when I open myself up to say, you know what, I can't do this by myself, I need to trust that prayer. I need to trust that God has heard that prayer, and I need to take my hands off it. I need to relax, because me fighting to find whatever it is I'm looking for, or fighting to decrease my anxiety, because that's what this was about. This wasn't really about having lost the books. I could have just replaced the books or asked her if I could, find them on the weekend. But what's she going to do? Take away my birthday? I think I used that one yesterday. But this is, it's all about this anxiety of living in this place of chaos and not knowing where anything is and not knowing what's going to happen next and everything, which I know in a couple of weeks will calm down when everything is settled. But being in the present, I have to be calm and I have to recognize that God is in control. And sometimes God's control and mine don't look the same. And I know from experience that my control, unless it's the same as God's, unless I'm online with God, mine is like really way off. So I'm not necessarily saying that you should pray to St. Anthony if you've lost things, but I am saying that when you've lost something or when you're feeling anxious, take time to settle down and to think about taking a deep breath and letting it go and letting God or the divine or the universe or however it is you believe or how you think of it, how you think of things, allow that to wash over you and to help you to be calm. Because regardless of what you believe, if you're Christian or not, if you are anxious, you aren't going to be able to think straight. Being calm is the best thing you can do for yourself. So thank you to St. Anthony. Thank you to God for helping me find those books, because now today I can return them and I can sleep easier knowing that I now know where that one bag was, because it had other stuff in it that I needed to. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for hanging out with me. I promise that in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to get back to commenting, like responding to comments. I really appreciate that, your input, and I really do want to be able to connect with you that way. But right now, things are crazy. But I appreciate just knowing that we have this community. You're a great bunch of people, and God bless you. Have a great weekend. Tune in on Sunday if you wish for our We Parish mini worship for our Pentecost service, or mini worship for the Feast of Pentecost, and or I'll see you Monday for Church at Home with Rachel. God bless you and have a fantastic weekend.